Let's welcome to the studio the two-time featherweight champion of the world, the Leeds Warrior, Josh Warrington. Hello, Josh. How are you?
Not so bad. I tell you what, that introduction's quite decent. Can I get a copy of that?
Of course you can, yeah. For the right money, you can. Yeah. How are you? Happy Christmas to you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Same to you. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's always nice to come down to London.
How long are you down for?
Just today.
Okay.
Yeah,
not just to see us, surely.
Just a few more things to do. But
okay.
Yeah. I like today to see you guys.
There you go.
I like today to see you guys.
Okay.
Flirting Christmas.
We'll give you that. We'll give you that audio for nothing. You've got two young girls. You and I were just chatting outside. They're 5 years old.
Yes.
They know about Christmas.
They do. Yeah, Olivia and Eliza. They were born on Valentine's Day, so they'll be 6 next year, Valentine's Day. But yeah, it's a magical time, isn't it? Anyone who's got kids realise how special it is.
I think what I realised when my kids are older now, they're 15 and 12. But what I realised when I had kids is Christmas isn't for us anymore. It's for the kids.
Yeah, no, it is.
It's all about them, isn't it?
My missus, to be fair, when I first met her, was a Scrooge. She hated Christmas. She's
Why?
originally from the... she worked in hospitality industry, so she worked in restaurants and stuff like that. So as you can imagine, it's a very busy period for them guys. So she hated Christmas, but now she absolutely loves it. I mean, I think she wanted to put the tree up back in September.
Wow.
So yeah, she absolutely loves it. But yeah, it's fantastic, you know, the stuff that the kids get to do these days.
How old would you say your kids were, Josh?
The 5.
Yeah, see, my twins are 5. Are you
Yeah.
at that stage, though, where you can't put the presents under the tree until Christmas morning because...
Do you mean when Santa puts them
Santa's
under?
on there, to make sure Santa delivers them right, because my kids will search the house for everything.
Yeah, they are getting a bit giddy. They are getting a bit giddy, like doing the elf on the shelf and stuff like that. That's a pain in the backside.
Well, you don't do that. It happens on its own, right?
Yeah, no, exactly. Of course, yeah. You know, elves sometimes look for pointers, don't they?
That's it. Yeah. See where we're going with this, everyone?
There you go.
You know, I've got 2 girls. The worst thing about having girls is you've got to pay for 2 weddings. Are you aware of that?
Never really thought about that, but I've
costly.
I've got 3 boys buzzing.
You better start training again.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? You say that, but I'm gonna go off topic here. But I remember speaking to one of my pals who was a little bit older than me, and I remember finding out that we were having twin girls, but not knowing the sex. And I've gone round to, I think I was still...
Hold on. He knew he was having twin girls, but didn't know the sex.
I knew we were having twins.
Yeah, but didn't know the sex.
Didn't know the sex, yeah. So I remember going round to his house, and I'm excited. I think I was getting ready for the Lee Selby fight with the world title fight, Ellen Road. And I remember saying to him, Frank, I'm well excited. You know, twins, oh man, if they're twin boys, imagine that one a boxer, one a footballer, but what if they play for Leeds United? Oh, I've got all these daft ideas in my head. And he's looking at me. Frank's a little bit older than me, like 50-odd-year-old. He goes, yeah, Josh, it's not called to be. He says, you see him in there, 18-year-old. He says, I get up for work. He says, all right, Dad. He's been out Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't see him again until Friday when he's tapping me for 20 quid. He says, that's all it is. He says, my daughter, a few years older, every night she comes down. Hiya, Dad, you all right? Yeah. How's your day been?
Yeah.
Gives me a kiss on cheek. Love you, Dad. See you soon. He said, I know for a fact when I'm call it a day and I get old, he'll be nowhere but seen, but she'll be there looking after me. So, like, right, fair enough.
I've got 3 boys.
So basically,
I'll finish then.
So you got 2 carers.
There you go. That is girls, isn't it? That is girls. That is girls.
Well, listen, thanks so much for coming on. We've got lots to talk to you about. Obviously, we'll talk about Leeds a bit later on, although it wasn't a good night for them last night.
Yeah, Ipswich Town. Best team in that division.
Obviously, he's got a connection to Ipswich. Our producer, Joe, is a mad Ipswich Town fan. Imagine how difficult that is for me every single week when my Man United side are awful. And he's like, oh, top of the league now in the Championship. Anyway, we'll talk football a bit later on. Let's talk about you, the boxer. It's not been great for you of late, is it? 3 defeats in your last 5. Your last outing in October against Leigh Wood was a defeat as well. Yeah. Could you put your finger on, when you're a boxer, it's such a difficult game, could you ever put your finger on as to why things don't go your way and haven't over the last few fights? Or is it just because it's boxing, it's such a tough sport?
There's a bit of in that answer, the answer to that, there's a bit of both of that, what you're saying. I mean, at one stage of my career I thought that I'd never get beat. You know, one stage I was ranked number 1 in the world. I was 35 unbeaten, 11 years. I'd boxed every single style, and I've always found a way to win. Some fights were more convincing than others, but you know, I think I don't know if it comes with age, wisdom, or whatever. But yeah, it's an adult sport. It's an adult sport. I would say that, and this is going to sound like I'm making excuses, but the times that I have been on the wrong side of the decision has been down to my own mindset. So my first loss, I got knocked out by Michelle Lara behind closed doors. I'm thinking about ring magazine belts and unification fights and this, that and other, and I'm looking across at ring at this little Mexican thinking, poor lad, I'm going to absolutely bash his head in. But at least he gets paid. And next minute, you know, I'm on my backside and referee's waving off like, what the hell has just happened here? And then, you know, my second fight going into, my second loss, against Luis Alberto Lopez. Again, I were not right upstairs for the first six or so rounds. Just put it down to a few things, pressure, put it down to, you know, just coming off a broken jaw and a few things what had happened in camp prior to that. And, you know, like 6 rounds I was getting absolutely banjoed until my old fella gave me a slap round the face and said, listen, world title slipping away, son. You need to do something about it. And then it was more desperation in trying to win. And then my last one, just everything was going perfect, but sport boxing, it just out of my hands, you know. Round 7 comes round, I get penalised for an illegal blow, which I massively argue against. And then I get caught with a very good shot, well-timed shot, get put on my backside, get up, but the referee doesn't think I'm well enough to continue, and that's it.
You know, you've obviously watched back that fight, and we saw how angry you were about the stoppage against Leigh Wood. Yeah. But looking back at it now, do you still think it was the wrong decision to stop the fight? Most definitely
down and I think they were round 7. So obviously people don't realise the referee talks to you constantly throughout the fight. People in the stands won't hear that because there's so much noise going on inside. But for instance, we're in a clinch, and the referee Michael Alexander will be saying, lads, work it out. I can see that you've got an arm free, work it out, that's it. So Leigh stood in front of me, he's got hold of my arm, you know, but I've got an arm free, so he's in front of me. Naturally, I'm just going to start punching him. No, whoa, stop there, Josh. Don't hit him there, like, he stood in front of me. So the only place can hit him is side of head. No naughties, Josh, no naughties. As it goes on, that's it, boys, that's it, nice boxing. I don't want to be stopping yus. This is constantly going on throughout now.
Sorry, can I ask? All referees do the same, or just
most
okay.
This level, most level,
I didn't know that. Carry on.
They'll talk to you and they'll say, if you're there, lads, I can see it. Work out yourself. I don't want to stop it. And eventually, when they have to do, break. Anyway, it gets to a stage where they give me a warning for. Again, I don't feel like I'm hitting it back at head. And then that 7th round, Leigh goes for a shot. I duck. I come back up. I throw a little twitch. I think he's bought it like a bit of a setting up shot. I throw a bit of a right hand. It's a little bit wide, a little bit, you know, too you know, around the houses, but I still throw it where it's going to land on his chin. He turns his head, and as he turns, it lands on the side of his head. Michael Alexander stops it. Josh. Takes me to the corner. I said, Michael, I didn't do nothing wrong there. He says, Josh, final warning. I went, Michael. He says, Josh, come here. Takes my hand, takes me to the centre ring. Point off. Do that again, disqualifying you, mate. And I'm like, instantly changing my mindset. So I'm thinking, right, I don't want to drop.
Can I ask, is it like, and I'm trying to compare it to something we'd be familiar with, is it like a footballer getting a yellow card really early on in the game?
A little bit, that and conceding a goal quite early on.
Right, okay.
So like, I'm thinking, right, only way I can win this round is by putting him down, because then it'd be 10-8 minus my point, so it'd be 9-8. I can't, like, win the round on normally, like it'd be 10-9 if I won the round. So what can I do? I can at least draw the round. Now I feel like I'm in control of the fight, but I don't know how them 3 judges on the side of the ring of scoring it. And we've seen some dodgy decisions over the last few years in boxing. So I want to just not drop any round. So I'm thinking, right, pick it up a bit now. Leigh's been looking tired for a while, and that makes me go a little bit reckless. But I'm thinking, be busier, get to him a little bit more. Even to the last 10 seconds where you hear to signal to the corners, there's 10 seconds left of the round, and I thought, right, win the last 10 seconds, go down and make something impressionable. I go for a right hook, I drop my left hand, Leigh times a perfect shot, catches me, startles me, hits me with 5 clean ones after that. I don't really remember them. Next minute I'm on my backside. I get up at 5, I hear the bell at some point. I actually thought it was when I get up, but it's actually when I'm on the deck I hear the bell. But instinctively, I walk back to the corner, I see my old man getting on the side of the ring because he's my main corner man. Yeah. About to get in. I hear 6, 7. I say a few expletives, so I'm annoyed with myself. 8. I turn round and he's already waving his arms. Now, the referees normally want you to show that they're well enough to go on 8, and I've turned round 8. But he stopped it. and there's nothing I can do about it. It's done then. But my argument there is, it's a world championship fight. He's the man who's closest to the action, apart from like Leigh. He can see what's going on. He's a judge as well as a referee, so he has an idea of scores. He must know that I'm absolutely flying with the contest. Like I say, I've hardly taken a punch throughout the fight. It's the first time I've been hurt, and he's sending it around. Give me that minute. You know, if I get up off the next round and he banjos me, puts me down, then I'm not here complaining about it. I'll say, right, you know what? I was out.
We'll speak more with Josh in just a moment. We've hijacked him till 6:15. He's so good. I said, can we keep you for another 15 minutes? And he went, yeah, fine. So staying with boxing, have a listen to this. Heavyweight boxer Deontay Wilder caught up exclusively with talkSPORT's Gareth A. Davis. Gareth asked Wilder whether he plans on fighting AJ and Francis Ngannou next.
It could be, but I think it's going to be one or the other. You know, but like I said, it can happen that way. It can very well happen that way where I see both of them. But I know for sure that I'm gonna get one of them. I know that for sure. So the futures is bright, you know, and I'm looking forward to whoever I get in the ring, whether it's both or one. I'm grateful for it all.
Day of Reckoning, Saturday the 23rd of December, as part of the Riyadh season, will be available live on DAZN and TNT Sports box office. For info on how to watch, visit www.dayofreckoning.co.uk. You can watch the full interview with Deontay Wilder on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. As I mentioned, Josh Warrington is with us. Can we finish off our chat before we talk about all the big fights coming up? I asked for your permission because I understand sometimes it could be
sensitive.
Yeah, for boxers to relive, defeats. And I had a look on YouTube. I didn't watch it with you. I watched it sat opposite you. And having seen it, when was the last time you watched it?
Last time I watched it with like a few highlights a week or so ago.
Okay. Yeah. So having watched it, it reminded me of how brutal at the time it looked and how much it must have looked for the referee as well. Yeah. And it's a very difficult job the refs have got because it's easy for us to sit here weeks and months later and say, actually, you should have done this. But I suppose at the end of the day, they've just got your well-being in their mind, and they just want to make sure you come out of that fight safely, which thankfully you have done. So where do you go from here now? What are your plans? What are you doing at the moment? Are you training? Are you getting ready for another fight? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'm back training. One, because I want to be able to eat whatever I want over Christmas, and the missus don't like me putting on too much of a derby.
Yeah, I can really imagine you put on weight, yeah.
And two, I want to get the rematch. I want to get the rematch with Leigh. He has ambitions of fighting at the City Ground. And obviously, I myself has boxed twice at stadiums. I've boxed at Ellen Road, I boxed at Headingley Stadium, and I know that it's hard work, but it will help if there's a bit of a fight there. And instantly, we have history. A lot of neutrals have seen the replays, and there's been arguments of whether it should have happened or whether it was right to be stopped. So people want to see a rematch, and there's demand for it. So I'm hoping that Eddie Hearn and Frank Smith can get something sorted with this Nottingham, and we can get the rematch on next year.
Do you know what, Josh? It's really refreshing to hear that, because we've seen the state of the heavyweight division where the best don't necessarily fight the best. They have 2, 3, 4 tune-up fights, and then the fight doesn't happen. But do you think that's the right decision for you to jump straight back in to this rematch with Leigh Wood, or would you want a tune-up fight first, or is it just about getting the rematch on?
Yeah, I'm 33, man. I don't think I need to have tune-up fights. I've 35 fights deep. If you're talking about rounds of sparring, I must have been to hundreds of thousands of rounds of sparring. I think there's no need for a tune-up fight. You know what level you're at. You know what you need to do. And after a certain amount of fights, that experience is just there to go through it back into the hard fights. So no, I don't think I'd need a tune-up. I'd be all right going straight back into it.
There's obviously bad blood between you. He said recently that about you, I don't like him. I'd like to make the win more decisive this time. The build-up last time was respectful, but since then he's been very bitter, and it's been getting a little bit worse lately.
Yeah. I mean, I could say a lot of expletives on whilst I'm talking to you guys, but it annoys me because 3 weeks to go to that fight, I come down here to London. We had to do some media obligations, and I were a bit frustrated because he's only trains in Essex, so he had a shorter journey than me. I've come down from Leeds, ended up getting stuck in traffic on the M1, so absolute nightmare. And I was fuming, and within 3 weeks to go before the fight, I'll shake your hand prior to it, but I'm kind of thinking that if he's in the mindset of getting under my skin, then I'm going straight back at him. But I walked in here, we were on both with White and Jordan, and he shakes my hand and everything's amicable. And, you know, I'm thinking, you know, if he's arrogant or cocky or whatever, then he's getting it straight back. But if he's respectful, then I'll shake his hand. You know, because I'm kind of like an old school mentality of, you know, this is boxing, we let his fist do the talking. And, you know, that I know that people enjoy a pantomime and the show and the drama, like what we see when John Fury tips some tables over and this and other. But, you know, I've let these do the talking. You know, I've done it with Carl Frampton, had the fight of the year. I've had some brilliant fights throughout my career. So that was out, very respectful. But since the fight, you know, I give him plenty of respect after, behind closed doors. We were in the post-fight medical room together. You know, he had a cut. We're having a bit of a chat, and it's just me and him and a few doctors, and everything's amicable. And then I hear, like on the next day or so, he's on here gloating about how it was part of the game plan. I mean, come on, don't like blow smoke up your own backside, talking about it was all part of it. Josh gets slappy halfway through, so what, you plan on getting battered for 7 rounds, and then you thought you just picked that one punch out? Like, he's been saying, like, I need to show him respect. Show some yourself. Be a decent champion. Say, you know, turn around and say, you know what, it won't go in my way for 7 rounds, but champions always find a way, and that's what I did. Then I respect the man for that. But since he's been like, he's giving me credit, no whatsoever, so I ain't going to give it back. And all I've done is answer questions about whether I think it's right to be stopped. Well, I don't. And I think someone asked me initially after the fight, is he the hardest puncher I've been in with? And I answered no, because I feel that Kiko Martinez, fellow who broke my jaw, was the hardest puncher I've been in with. Yeah, he can dig, but he's not that, and he's been right. He's took that really personal. So,
where are we with that fight getting remade? How close are we?
I'm getting all worked up here, Andy. I'm getting all sweaty.
Sure. I think they're moving. Actually, I'm getting too close to you.
But no,
where are we at with the fight?
Well, you know, Eddie and Frank Smith, you know, they tell me what I want to hear, and they tell me the negotiations are well underway. But I don't really know. I understand that I'm the next one in line, because I know Leigh is desperate for that City Ground fight. I'm hearing there's a few dates there's one date being like penciled in, and that's the only date they can do. But I'm just waiting to see a contract. So, you know, I'm just having to keep on blowing up Eddie's phone and hopefully they come through with it.
Do you know, quickly, I've always wondered this with like this fight here, you and Leigh Wood, like everyone would like to see it, but as you said, they're the promotion companies, it's difficult. Have you ever known any boxers just to call up the other boxer and go, listen, do you want to get it on, yes or no? And they go, yeah, and then it's like, right, I've just spoke to him, get the fight made.
Yeah, to a certain extent, I've seen boxers swap messages and this and other.
Well, hold on. Let's say hello to Leigh Wood. No, I'm joking. He doesn't.
I had a little adrenaline rush.
I was about to duck. He looked like he was about to fight.
Your fight is like...
I drank soda like
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.